Okay, hey traders, TG Watkins here. Let me see if I can drop the camera on my one side, and then we can see if we can start it on. No, maybe that won't work. All right, guys, I'm still trying to figure out this thing with my new camera and trying to get this into some of our restreams. So maybe there's some more technical stuff that I need to work out with on this. Oh, maybe I just got it. Well, there you go. Easy peasy, right? So, oops, let me switch that. There you go. Cool. All right, guys, got all the data working out. Brighter side, good to see you. And for those of you who don't know yet, I want to make sure that you guys know that we have a virtual money show coming up. It's going to be March 20th, and it's not just going to be me giving a presentation. We're actually going to be doing live trading. We're going to be with Joe and Allison, our fellow Simpler Trading traders, and we're going to be just hanging out in the room talking about stuff. We're going to see about our stuff. We're going to talk about charts and how the three of us look at the same chart and how that looks and runs down. And then we're going to see if we can find any day trades. And if we can't find any particular day trades, because it's like, hey, here's your 40 minutes to go find a day trade, go. Market doesn't work like that. So if we don't see anything right then and there, we're going to tell you guys what we are seeing, what's setting up, how to take it, and then we'll probably see about checking back in, I don't know, a week or two later to do a follow-up on all that. So it should be pretty cool as we actually come full circle with it. So yeah, Money Show, check that out, and we'll make sure that this, look at my Twitter page, X page. That's where the link is and information about all that stuff. But it's going to be the morning of March 20th. So basically 30 minutes after the stock market opens. So we're looking forward to that. All right. Then as we get into things, let me see. Okay, so brighter side. Yeah, let me go over here. Yeah, so almost gave up trying to short this market. I suppose overbought conditions can remain for long periods. I see daily momentum draining from the QQQ, but it's holding on to that ghost for sure. Yeah, brighter side. I was thinking about you and what was it, Loco no Joko, or I don't know, who was the one that was trying to short things last week when we were talking. And I was like, you got to be careful, guys. Got to be real careful about trying to short this market. You're trying to pick up pennies in front of dollar bills, or picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. And I thought about you guys because on Friday there was a pretty big pullback on Friday, and I'll show you this. I saw that the UVIX, actually, let me go back over here. The UVIX looked like it was ready to go. So I did pull off quite a few trades, cashed in some profits, got rid of some laggards, some things that just weren't looking very interesting, because I thought, uh-oh, if the UVIX is starting to hold the hourly 50 right in through here, then that's not good, because a lot of times the VIX can actually set up just a little bit before the um, the market does, and it kind of gives you a heads up. And so you're like, ooh, okay, we gotta watch out for that. And I didn't short anything, and I'm happy I didn't, because look at the market right back up. And I think it was basically the market was preparing for the CPI report and thinking like, okay, if the CPI comes in too hot, how's the market going to react? And so you could see that traders were hedging with the UVIX. And the last time that happened also was going into NVIDIA earnings. You could see the UVIX was starting to set up again through here too. So that did spook me a little bit. We didn't take off all the positions, but it was like, ooh, okay, just in case this thing is right, we're going to pull back a little bit. But then you can see, look, it's breaking. So it's not, still hasn't found any traction. Now we'll wait, we'll see if there's going to be another setup at some point in the future. But yeah, right now it's like, first of all, don't try to short it yet. I am really seriously wondering how long this can persist. And it does seem like right now what's happening is there's almost like a perfect rotation. Money is coming out of the big stocks and moving into little stocks, and everything is just kind of moving around. And there seems to be always something going in this right now. So, just go with the market. Go with the market. Sure, someday this thing will be a short and you can have your field day, but don't miss out on all the good trades that are happening right now, because there are still really good trades happening. So yeah, Friday. Yeah. So Friday was a big down day. If you guys were, chomping at the bit to short things, hopefully you got that short on Friday, but then also hopefully you got out, because Monday did persist as far as the move down, but then look, it snapped right back up. So, I mean, they're just the trend is up, but it is choppy. So if you want to be trading this stuff, there are really good day trades. I mean, look at these movements. That's a good day trade. That's a good day trade. Uh, I mean, that's obviously a good day trade, and that was a good day trade. So there's a lot of good day trades in here, long and short, if you want to do it that way. Yeah. B1, so you've also started thinking about short, but with a tight leash because tops are a process. Exactly true. Let's see, XBI. Okay, yeah, XBI did pull back. LabU. Yeah, it's since got out. Biotech is often the first to roll over. Okay, so biotech. Let's just assume if it is the first to roll over. Okay, this may not necessarily be rolling over. This might just be an overbought pullback, and it could continue to go higher later. So if you notice, for whatever reason, I don't know what the news was that it jumped up like this, but it got overbought, got outside of that third ATR, and you can see that gapped off the 8 EMA. So what if this isn't like, oh no, this is going to roll over and now we're going to come down and this is going to, this is a precursor for whatever is going to happen for the market. What if it's not that? What if it's that this is great, it got too good, and now it really just kind of needs to pull back into line? Because I mean, if you look at this, what if it just continues this straight line, and when it gets too extreme to either side, it just has to come back down into its line? So what if that's the situation? So don't necessarily look at this as, oh, this is going to come down and it's the end. It's more like it's got a little too ahead of its skis and now it just needs to cool off and continue to find some support and continue to move up. Maybe that's it. So we of course have to look for both directions and see what's happening, but I wouldn't be bearish on this yet. Not yet, because there's just not quite anything to be bearish about. And in fact, I just got off with the options room, our central room, and somebody mentioned DraftKings. So, for example, and I was just thinking about this because I just talked about DraftKings, and I'm seeing some similarities with XBI. And what I'm looking at is notice DraftKings. See how it got too good? It got extended, and yeah, look, it did pull back, but then it was just a matter of time until it launched again. And notice, yes, it was too good, and it pulled back. But now look, it's making new highs. And it got a little too good. And so now it's just going sideways. And so that's what I'm wondering, can XBI do that? And so what I'm trying to tell you is here, here, and here, don't be looking at this, be like, oh, that's the end of the market. That's it. It's pulling back. We're done. Instead, just be like, look, it's clearly in an uptrend. It got overbought and it needs to settle in. And really, you should stay long until something really changes. And that doesn't mean it doesn't mean go buy here and go buy here and you have to struggle through the pullback. No, it just means, just don't don't be bearish on this stuff. Not yet. Yeah, B1. There are lots of things out there that are saying that this market should be pulling back. I mean, the trajectory of the UVIX, the VIX continues to put in new lows. Yes, the Moxie indicator does not look great on the hourly chart. It's kind of blah. I totally get it. And we're overbought on the weekly chart. I totally get it, man. I totally get it. But we're seeing a lot of fresh trades out there. For example, China. China is picking up. So even if the American market starts to pull back, what if people start putting money in the Chinese market? So there's a bull market somewhere. So look at the Chinese names. And then oil. If we look at XOP, and brighter side, didn't we talk about this? Was it last week or at least the week before? Like, you're like, hey, it looks like oil is starting to move, energy is starting to move. I was like, yeah, actually it does. Look at that. So I am a little bit more on the side of there could be a rotation. And even if the market kind of starts to go sideways, pull back sideways, whatever, we could still be seeing some strength out there because I think that, we could just be seeing rotation. And I do see that the FANG stocks, so if we look at FNGS is kind of the ETF for the FANG stocks, yeah, they have been, notice that they've stopped going up ahead of the market and ahead of a lot of other names. But what if money is rotating out of those names and into other names? And so, common thought would be that, hey, when the FANG stop going up, the rest of the market stops going up because, they comprise most of the market. But if the news is out that this market is really strong and really good, then we could start seeing the small caps lift, the mid caps lift, and we could be getting money coming out of the mega caps and into the rest of the market. And that would help keep things afloat. Because I know Apple is not doing great. So you look at that, Apple's not doing great. So, and it's a huge company. It's the size of its shares and stocks and all that. Maybe money's coming out of that and going elsewhere. Microsoft, sure, Microsoft has been doing great, and it could probably keep going higher. I mean, it looks like that. And as I said, when you get something that's overbought, it doesn't necessarily have to go down. What if it just goes sideways? And that's kind of the same thing that I want to bring to your attention. So brighter side, B1, Loco no Joko, if you're out there, what if they don't go down, but what if they go sideways? If you want to short the market, just be prepared. You might short it for 3 days, and then that's it. Because what if it just goes sideways? Just make sure you keep that in your brain. Let's see, tend to bottom fish more in overbought markets so that the risk is lower too, like Rivian. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. I do think that as the market continues to stay up and persist, you got to think about it. Bigger investors put a ton of money into bonds because interest rates are high and the market wasn't doing great. But now you got to think about from the standpoint and the mind of larger traders, investors, older people, like whatever. You look at them and say, they know that the Fed is going to reduce rates at some point. So they're going to get a haircut on how much risk-free money they can make. And they're over here looking at the market. And it's like the market is screaming at new all-time highs and it's not stopping. And they're starting to see everything is popping off, left and right. Like, holy crap, Nvidia, SMCI, the market itself, like, wow. And they're like, I'm over here getting 8%, maybe 6%, whatever, and it's going to start getting cut down to 5 and 4.5. So now they're getting FOMO and they want to put their money in the market. So I think a lot of money is going to be coming off the sidelines, and it's going to help persist and keep this market going. So just keep in mind that the market might go sideways as opposed to down. Rivian. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be doing something like this, there's a possibility. Let's see if that 5250 can work out. So basically it needs to start holding through here, and let's see if it can go up. But just keep in mind, it may not. You can see here where price looked like it was trying to hold the hourly 50, but ultimately could not get past the 200, and then it got crunched on earnings. So yeah, if you think this is going to be a trade for you, then great. And then let's see, quick take on market internals. VOLD seems stronger than the market. Okay, let's look at this. Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, look at that. That's a good day. Good numbers. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. And yes, of course, we know that the put call ratio has been low for a long time. Basically, this does not matter until it matters. It is broken right now. So I think what's happening is so much money is probably coming in off the sidelines that this gauge just can't figure out what to do. Like it's just not happening. So just be aware that it's low. It could start going up at any point, but nothing's happening yet. So nothing to really make of it there. And here just I mean, look, we've had a lot of green days. In fact, we've had very, very minimal down days. Very minimal. I mean, how far back do we have to go until we've had significant down days? I mean, look at this. There, 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 there. But after that, it's been all pretty, pretty good. Yeah, looking really good. So Uni, thanks. Thanks for mentioning that. That's a good look. And then we could even look at RSP. This is the equal weight. I mean, the only thing I can say is, yeah, when is this thing going to become too bullish? But remember, they can go sideways. They can go sideways. So whenever this thing wants to take a break, it could just go sideways. So RSP, MDY, mid caps. I mean, look at that. Let's keep doing this until the wheels fall off. Oh, and Austin, you're short. You got short Meta again. Well, you got one day. You got one day. Right there on Friday. Now again, maybe Meta chills out and takes a break, and maybe money is starting to come out of Meta and flow elsewhere into the market. Bigger, better opportunities. Meta's already had a huge move. Maybe people are like, cool, I've made my money out of the safe haven, and the risk to reward, or the numbers don't really, the fundamentals don't pan out quite as much anymore. And so maybe people, institutions, are starting to take money out of stuff like Meta and recycle it into other things that are starting to come up off the floor that can give them more alpha. So it's a possibility. I see what you're looking at here. Price is underneath the hourly 50. Yes, the Moxie indicator is below 0, and we'll just have to see. Now, I will just caution. Gosh, what was it? COTY and then Ulta. There we go. I'll just caution you that, again, this whole sideways thing, Meta could go down, but what if also it just goes sideways? So if you're going to catch shorts, here's a short, here's a short, here's a short, yes. But ultimately, it was really just kind of going sideways until it wanted to go higher. So if you're going to trade the short side at the highs, just be aware of that. And you could also see that maybe, short to the 21, short to the 21, and back up. All right, let's look at O. Realty income. Okay, looks like a REIT. Well, it obviously hasn't done much lately. And the only thing I'll say is here's a higher low. And if this is going to work, you pretty much need that to stay above there. So GM, if this is going to go, honestly, yeah, it needs to stay above $51 or so. And then if we look at the lower time frames here, it's not an official trampoline move, but it's kind of close to that. So if it can hold this level, in fact, yeah, there's a line. Let me get this. And we kind of look like that right there. Yep. So here and here, if it can start to hold that hourly 50, get past the 200, eventually come up and get past the 50 again, sure. So I think I see what you're seeing. You've got eyes on this. It looks like a potential. It is retesting the low area, and yeah, if it can hold through there and continue to move up and prove itself, then I think you've got something. And I think that would be, I think that would be about it. The other thing is also watch for eventually the 50 to cross over the 200 on the daily chart. Yeah, so yeah, there might be something there. I've been kind of looking at some real estate related stuff too. One of them was DEI. So you can see the reason I'm looking at that. So DEI looks like it wants to get going. And then we've also been, I have my dad in Cube, which is self-storage, and you can see why we're in there. So he's been in for a few days. That one looks pretty good. So yeah, some real estate stuff seems to be doing well. But yeah, we've had some other stuff. Was it Chris? No, Cart. So we had Cart. We just got out of this because lockup ends on the 18th, and I mean, I think we milked this thing for all it's worth. We got, about 28% on that thing, and it was one of the easiest trades. And fortunately, we loaded up on it. We actually went larger size than what I normally do because it just looked so good. So we're pretty happy about that. And then ATMU, we're having a field day with this one. Look at that thing, straight up. And we got this thing down here. So, 11%, but we got it perfectly. Perfect entry on that one. So this market's really been doing very well for us. Guys, if you aren't in the Moxie group, come join us. If you need the Moxie indicator, come get it, because I was able to see things like this where price was below the 50, but the Moxie indicator was above 0, and you had a squeeze. I mean, this thing really just lit off. And then the other thing that confirmed it was this: price below the 50, Moxie indicator above 0, yet again, another trampoline move. So yeah, been loading up on these things, doing great. And just look at the volume on this. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to be, GR. I mean, there were 2 perfect trampoline moves. Yeah, perfect. Trampoline move, trampoline move. And when you start seeing things like that line up, oof. So the Moxie indicator has been just loving this stuff. You can even see here, trampoline move there too. And yeah, I guess trampoline move there too. All over the place. All right, guys. So yeah, we're having a good time. Brighter side, I want to hear your saga next week. So come tune in next week. I want to see if you manage to short anything. You know, just like a clock, a broken clock is right twice a day. You'll be right eventually. You'll get the big one one of these days, and I'll celebrate you. You let me know when you finally nail the big short. All right, guys. Cool. All right, and then don't forget we've got the money show coming up. So sign up for that. I got my dad signed up for it. He'll tune in and see what's going on. And then yeah, other than that, guys, I'll catch you later.